Oh, thank you so much for joining us on a Wine Box Wednesday. 2 days away from the big closing. I'd like to see one of the big banks or big pool stop me now. Unstoppable, that's what I say. I tell people every day, come on by, swing on down, bring your dog. Welcome to the show, everybody. Special hang tonight because, just because you're you. What I'd like to do tonight is revisit an old gay roommate of mine. No, just kidding. Could somebody do me a favor? I didn't put it out on social media or anything that we were doing this except for the stories. So if you're in the Facebook group, maybe you can go in there and give it a little post, give it a little link. Let the hardcores in the group know we're hanging out tonight. And if you're an old school fan, you're going to love tonight. Except for maybe a certain few who are not into the old bashing of the Bulls. You won't believe what I got in my email this morning, and it reminded me that they exist. An email from Keith and the girl. I'd like to share that email with you tonight. I'd like to let you know what they're up to. The pioneers of podcasting. These guys were months before us, and we thought we were early. I tell everybody we were the first comedy podcast. In reality, we were probably number 3 or 9. But I tell people it's us. You're going to want to be our friends. Thanks for tuning in. If you just watching, have a hang. We're going to be on for a while tonight. You don't want to get annoyed. If you're wondering why I'm doing this, like a retarded man. By the way, I've got AccuView Oasis in right now. They feel great. My eyes feel moisturized. I can read. Everything's sharp. I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. I have real trouble with contact lenses here because of the dryness. I went off on Hubble. Not a good lens. In my opinion, they should make orange juice juicers because they're really good at squeezing, mashing, squeezing, mashing, squeezing, mashing the eyeball. AccuView Oasis, loving it so far. Loving it so far. Are you having a reunion with Corey? Do they need $20K to pay for premium Zoom? You're not going to believe what they need. And I believe that they might be live right now. We have a team of correspondents standing by in the chat room who are monitoring the Keith and the girls Zoom. They are already infiltrated it. Where Keith, you won't believe this, is playing poker with his fans a la 2007. You want to talk about people skating to where the puck has been? No. USB extenders are expensive. You won't believe what they're up to now, and you won't believe what we've uncovered right here at Team The Onion. Stand by. That was a good way to hit that. You see how I hit that punch? Knocked it. Guys, I've got so much to tell you about. We've got so much to talk about when it comes to the Elliot Page case. We've got so much to tell you about why I think I'm getting out of recycling for good. Shout outs to Anchor. And I've got to tell you so much about how there's a scam going on for Black Friday. where people are sending out things. Somebody's losing money. But tonight, I can't talk about any of those things. I can't talk about signing closing documents tomorrow on a house. I can't talk about picking up the keys Friday. Can't talk about the new appliances I've ordered, how shiny everything's going to be, and how porcelain tile is expensive and you'll never own it. We don't have time for that stuff tonight. We're running out of intro track. So welcome to the show, and that's the dive tonight. Let me tell you a little backstory on this situation. And don't think that we're getting off track of following around Ty Rivera and his buddy Trey's Mala, the dope from the bus when you were in Vegas with your grandparents that one time. And also to the people joining just now, I see Kool-Aid popping in and stuff just now. Welcome. You know this show. Come late, and you'll be just fine. I tell people 6:30, but as your mom says to your grandma on Thanksgiving, that's just what we tell you. So, yeah, I start when I want. We're kind of a freewheeling thing. And in as much as that we're going to sit here tonight and make fun of a once could have had it all podcaster, how he's really, really wrecked his life. And I'm going to need my fact checkers, my Kimda and Keith fact checkers, and my, that's their names, by the way, Keith and Camdra. Camdra. Just put in some subway tile. We're not doing house talk today. We're not doing it. But go ahead, subscribe to the channel. Welcome. It's gonna be a while tonight, and we're gonna do a deep dive into these guys and let you know what they're up to. And I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I don't know where this is going. I got this email this morning and I deleted it, but now I've gone back and looked, and I've talked it over with the Queef Squad Council, who of course are in charge of all bullyings and goings on here at the Onion. It's pronounced Hamdra. Okay, got it. Sorry, Keith and Hamdra. And I don't know what to say. We all started podcasting in 2005. We were like the grand poobahs, the beginning pioneers of podcasting. And, most podcasters who started out back then have long moved on and quit. I think I was a stand-up comic. Not a lot of the people doing it were stand-up comics. Keith calls himself a stand-up comic. Never was really accepted on the comedy scene. Never really got gigs or traveled and did any comedy per se. And never got any traction. He performed at all these weird alt spaces and stuff. And then when he got popular on the podcast scene and could scrounge up 100 New Yorkers in a room, he started performing once a year for the pod. And people don't know what I'm talking about. Let me pull this up. KeithAndTheGirl.com. KATG.com. Do they still have that? Katherine Heigl popped up. So let's go to the browser here. And I think this site... Sorry, I just choked on a turkey leg. Dear God. That was ferocious. I apologize for that. Ooh. I almost died. I think I'm really getting over. I do feel better. I have more energy and stuff, but it was touch and go there for a while. Weren't you an IT guy first or a comedian? Come on. Okay, look at this. So this is their website. I think this has been their website for quite a while. And look at this. We've been featured in They got like a press agent and stuff early on and really did this right. We've been featured in Cosmopolitan, the Wall Street Journal, Mashable, Huffington Post, New York Observer, Bloomberg, Business Week, ZDNet, Glamour, Comedy Albums, New and Noteworthy, AV Club, Maxim, the New York Times, Time Out, Playboy, Podcasting for Dummies. So they've been featured in all these publications. They even had I'm sure their PR person told them to write a book, so they wrote a book about relationships, plain English from Keith and Cramdra. And they actually broke up while they were writing the book on how to be together, and they had to keep their mouths quiet about their breakup until like a year or two after their book was out, because it was part of their contract with the publisher. They could, obviously the book's not going to sell if it comes out that you're a fraud, People will let it go when you lie about being a comedian, but you're trying to sell a book on how to podcast, a book on how to, be a real couple. It doesn't always pan out when you sign a contract and have to lie to your fans for years and plug your book. So that's what it is. This is their site. I haven't seen this in forever, but this is the same site. And I guess they have a promo video front and center. This is one of the most basic WordPress. Is that Judy Gold? Yeah, I mean, they live in New York. Look, and Keith was one of these guys who hung out at the comedy clubs all the time. Really, really wanted to be a comedian bad. And they, by the way, these photos of them that they have on the upper left of their website, they took these headshots so long ago that they think, I mean, there's so much wrong with this right here. These fucking idiots. Number A, this screaming into the microphone is like 90s Howard Stern shock jock shit. Either be doing it ironically or get the fuck out of here. And it is not ironic, or Chevrolet would be doing it as well. And the waveform design below, they had stickers made with this fucking waveform design. Him screaming into that mic, angry style, Stern 94-esque. And then, meanwhile, he's wearing like the most floppy opened Lacoste shirt. Chemical Burn, I think her name is. Correct. Cramps. Mary Camdress. And then they're yelling into microphones that, I want to make this very, very clear. They're using Procaster microphones in shock mounts, and these are not even, these are dynamic mics. These are not condenser mics. So there's no need for this shock mount hooey. And then also you're holding on to the microphone, which kind of defeats the purpose of the shock mount, zero vibration system. You're holding on to the mic. Ah! I'm Keith! Jesus Christ. How is that the front page of your website in 2020? There's a pandemic and you're mock biting the site? Dummy. Anyway, they're dumb. And then they have a video here, front and center. This is one of the most basic WordPress templates you could ever. Let's hear what plays here.
This is what 14 years and 3,000 episodes of podcasting look.
This is what 14 years and 3,000 episodes of podcasting look like.
We were dating.
We were clowns, kids party entertainers.
We told each other secrets.
This is max volume.
To abortions.
Keith probably did too. We were on the cover of the Village Voice. We were written up in the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, Cosmo, Glamour.
Other things. Book deal.
Is this an obituary? Is this a downfall on like a behind the music?
What do we do now? Our relationship book that got its second printing within 1 week. We're featured in Podcasting for Dummies, Citizen Marketers, Tricks of the Podcasting Masters, among others.
And we received some awards along the way, and we were inducted into the Podcasting Hall of Fame. Did you even know that was a thing?
A
No.
bunch of parties and events every year. Broke up, got married to other people, divorced those other people.
Keith stopped drinking.
Penda got a tumor, 5 pounds. Look at that.
Jesus Christ. Are we allowed to show that on Twitch?
And 25 times the weight of a New England Patriots football. Tom Brady.
Keith put out 15 stand-up albums, and they were amazing and hilarious.
Okay, you have to know this. And by the way, I have in my possession somewhere a couple of Keith's stand-up albums on DVD. And if we can find those and locate someone with a computer, with a physical disk drive, an optical disk drive, we'll try to get that hooked up. No, I do think I have a USB CD drive somewhere around in a bin for just this type of thing next to my VCR and my beeper. If you want to know why Keith has... first of all, I don't know when this video was made, but I'll tell you this. These guys have had over a decade to figure audio out, and it sounds like mapoo. It sounds like dog shit. And when they tell you Keith has launched 15 comedy albums, here's what you need to know. Keith doesn't do stand-up at all, and he memorizes every year an hour of talking and goes up and does it in front of a loaded audience of Keith and the Girl fans, which has diminished greatly over the years. I remember when we did our Keith and the Girl, or we did our London show in 2009. Keith and the Girl, hot on our footsteps, ran over to London and put on a show in the same venue as we did. They ran over there and did that. A couple shows have done that, and we had people at both shows, and they said not as many people. Not as many people. And this is a show that, again, I thought was huge. These guys blew up, man. They took off. When you talk about podcasters that really made it, these guys like Don and the Drew and Keith and Girl, they really blew up. Blew up big. Everybody was sucking their dick. But it's only because they had publicists. And once they stopped paying for those publicists, and the model, Keith and the Girl live in New York City, which is very expensive to live in. And then once they broke up and Chemda realized that Keith was a loser, and Keith realized, how have I ever been coming in the same room with this monster? Because she is hideous, by the way. I mean, Jesus Christ. That's how she presents on camera and stuff. Imagine in the morning. Whatever, though, everybody Godspeed. Everybody's born away, and not everybody has the face symmetry of a me, for instance. Some people look like Rocky Dennis. His stand-up every year consists of things he talked about on the podcast, so it's just repetitive. Exactly. So then he puts out these albums, which anyone can just have 200 CDs burned and wrapped in jewel cases. That's not a feat anymore. So pretty crazy. And then in 2015 or 16, they had a meetup and some pictures leaked from this meetup. And there's a lot of leaked videos and pictures of shows like this at parties and meetups. Somebody posted a YouTube video of me the other day on our group or something of me in a hotel room, drunk as fuck, back in the day with Lane and Stephanie. Remember these couple trying to get me to have a threesome with them? Ben Glebe's in the corner. We're all drinking out of teacups because that's all the hotel had. Like 50 people crammed in a fucking hotel room, blasting music, and I'm freestyle rapping. It's the room's full of weed smell, and everybody in there is just drinking and having a good time. These pictures leaked out, and I hadn't seen that. That had to be, what, 2011, 2013, something like that. These photos leaked out of this Keith and the Girl party, and this is circa 2015, 16. These videos and photos are like 7, pale-legged dudes in jorts around like cheap living room furniture. You know, like people who like buy living room furniture at the store really, really cheap, and they think they got a good deal, and they get it in their house, and they're like, oh, it's not like full-sized real furniture. Like the sofa is the size of a normal love seat, and the love seat's the size of a chair, and the chair, you don't even get a chair, fella. So, like, it's that kind of furniture, and they're all just uncomfortable around like a carved wooden table. And on this table are wooden bowls, the shit is like, wooden bowls that you would find at an Airbnb that they left for like the people to use at the Airbnb, but not like in a serious way. And they're full of like, cheddar popcorn and Doritos, but like the mildest cheese flavor they have. And then they have like open boxes of Pop-Tarts and maybe some individual fun-sized Snickers. And then around the table, everyone has a giant styrofoam cup. And on the side, it says Circle K Polar Pop. And it's just a bunch of fucking losers sitting around with cheddar popcorn and Polar Pop. And that's their wild meetup. Now, I have to make a confession. A couple years ago, Steve Curran came out. It wasn't really a meetup, but to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And Roy and I always have a giant cup from Quick Trip, the service station out there. We're both the kind of guy. He likes Coke Zero. I like Diet Coke. But we're both the kind of guy. We always like to have a big Diet Cola near us. And this is the only thing I think that makes me white trash, is I'd love to have a 32-ounce gallon bucket right next to me to rot my teeth. So anyway, I think we all had like these big cups, guys, girls, everybody around with these giant cups, smoking cigarettes, but, also doing, lines of Coke and, generally some people naked in the pool. Like it was, like it's an actual, like something's happening. This is a fucking crazy night. These guys are gathered around, Hulu on a Saturday evening. Giant colas, very Florida of you. It was Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm just letting you know. These guys ain't what they seem. Back to their promo video, though. I want you to really get a glimpse of what they want you to see.
Kenda's no joke herself. She has a Crank Call album. She has a Christmas album. A Christmas album. She's Jewish.
Hold on. Chemda has a Crank Call album? I need my guys in the chat. My guys. Please look for this.
The Keith and the Girl tattoos. Like 150 of them.
Here's what some Keith and the Girl guests have to say about the show.
No, when I'm high, I look really high.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could use a God hole to dump my hate in.
I don't know what we're talking about. We recorded it.
I was a cute little kid, but I was not a cute baby. I was bald till I was like 5.
Every one of their guests they've had on has like a different room tone, different sound. Wait till you see this show.
I'm starting to grow into being okay with who I am.
Nearly 15 years in podcasting with hundreds of guests.
Check us out everywhere podcasts are available.
In your grocers, freezer section. Look, guys. There has never been a podcast to this day that is a bigger failure, mark my words, of the story arc that is Keith and the Girl. And here's why. This show could dial down to fucking 10 downloads an episode. It could. And it still wouldn't be a failure because I'm one man in a room. That's my overhead. Let me tell you what Keith and the girl did. They were a couple that broke up. So now they couldn't live together. So they both had to get their own apartments. Well, now their bills significantly went up. You know what I mean? You know, then one of them gets married and one of them finds trans Zim to date. I don't know their pronouns, so I'll be fucked if I say it either way. And now their bills are higher because they can't do the podcast in their home anymore. They rent a location in Brooklyn, Queens, I think, actually, to do the podcast. Now they have that overhead. You know, that's cheap, right? Queens. And don't get me wrong, it is a shit box. Wait till you see this shithole. Like, you know what? Everything is a shithole, but fix it up. You can make anything look nice on camera. This room doesn't look anything like what it looks like on camera. You know, it's a fucking disaster that never even got unpacked before I'm packing it back up. These guys have no concept of it. And for all the fame they got with this publicist, you think they would have someone in New York City who would step in. They've had interns, numerous people in there, figuring things out. Hambra's brother is a IT pro who built this whole system for them that is dog shit. It's all built on like ASPX. You know, that's a real joke for all my lamp people. The point is, like, look, it's all like .NET horseshit. This website hasn't been updated in, I don't know, 2008, 9. Go back and look. You find out for me. This podcast is still holding Kickstarters like it's the fucking 06s around here. You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
It's not anymore. They have teams of people, paid people. They're throwing all their money at the wrong shit, and they keep holding these things, making their dwindling listener base. Nobody listens to Keith and the Girl anymore. Nobody listens to this show anymore. As cringe as I think social media is, I try to engage with folks over on our Facebook group from time to time. We rarely do it anymore. I find it all crap. I haven't posted on Instagram personally in 9 months. I'm over it all. It's only bad. I won't even argue about it. It's all bad. You're wasting your lives. Balance yourselves. Get a grip. The election results are fraudulent. Thank you for tuning into Podcast Impossible. We haven't begun with these dopes yet. So I've met these guys several times at podcast meetups. They're always fucking assholes who act like their shit doesn't stink. Keith, while I do think is funny, is more dumb than actual dog shit. Chemda thinks she can sing, do comedy, prank call people, and give advice. Talk about a hipster bitch who has wandered from commune to commune looking for a group. You won't find one more than her. This chick has wandered from bands to singing to artwork to talking to advice to book writing to life coaching, trying to do spin-off horse shit. This bitch, anything she can do. I'm surprised she hasn't, gotten some clay and a wheel and started talking to invisible men. They're idiots. They have raised tens of thousands of dollars from their fans and given nothing back. To not rebuild a website, to not revamp your live setup at all. It's insulting. It's insulting to not put any effort at all into studio production, lighting, camera quality, sound quality, production value, levels. It's banana nut bread. At this level of the game, we all started with cameras on black screens that looked like goddamn Zoom. They were funny, and they were 640 by 360 or whatever the fuck they were. They were god-awful, 340 by 280. They were shit. We all figured it out. We all moved on and evolved with the times somewhat. We all went different directions. Some went down the YouTube trail. Some just chased any new platform there is. You guys froze in molasses like those old mosquitoes with the DNA from the dino films over on the Jurassic Park documentary. It's so fucking bananas. And if I walk you through, and let me just say this before we get into this. Here's how this all started. This morning, this came into my email box from Keith and the girl. And I would like to make this full screen for you now. Let me get it where you can see it. Okay. To Patrick at NobodyLikesOnions.com from Keith and the girl. Now, granted, I haven't gotten an email from Keith and the girl or their mailing list since probably way before the last time our mailing list was contacted, which has been years. Years. But this rolls in. And it's like, who's doing this? Who's managing your email system? Look at this. These are the guys with 7 people in the studio when they do a show. Teams of people. Okay? This is the email I get. Camdra's birthday is today. It's Camdra's birthday. What does she want? To save the world. But here are some realistic things. We'll be at keithandthegirl.com/chat at 8 p.m. tonight. Drop by and say hello and happy birthday to Camdra. We'll also play poker for free while chatting tonight. To join, go to pokerstars.bet, join ahead of time, and get the free chips they offer to be able to play. Let's hit the goal. Imagine Camdra hits refresh and boom, we hit the Kickstarter goal. Let's make this happen. Don't wait. Grab your reward now and hear Camdra scream for no reason. No matter where you are in the world. And then it has a picture of this sick mental hospital escape patient. This is what the girl from The Ring looked like when she crawled out of the TV. These people in 2016 raised tens of thousands of dollars for a new state-of-the-art chat system for their fans. At the time, we were all using Ustream. YouTube was starting with their live stuff. Chat rooms are free. You can get a chat room anywhere, dipshits. They built a server that spun up virtual machines to run all their cameras. And the chat was on like a Java Flash bullshit thing that like bogged down, and all their cameras streamed through this Flash chat application. They were going to spend $30,000 on licensing it. I mean, it was $30,000. It was expensive. And all you dopes donated to it. And now if you go to katg.com/chat, it launches Zoom. You will be in a chat room. Don't even go there, because you'll just be on a chat with these idiots. You don't want to do it. We might do it in a bit. Are they still live? Can someone in the chat let me know? So now they're doing another Kickstarter 4 years later. These two idiots are blowing all their money on New York rent for 3 places. They put nothing back into the show. Look at Hamdrak. She is in a closet. Racks, clothing, laughing, still with dark circles under her eye. Look like old prunes. Spread the word. Spreading the word about Keith and the Girl keeps the show going. It's also free to share. Shout out to Xerxes. And if you want to unsubscribe, you have to actually reply to the email unsubscribe. They don't use a mailing list program even. Look at the quality of this email layout. Like, what are you guys doing? Who runs anything you do? You just sign your name off on any old horse shit? Keith and the Girls VIP content is $15 a month. Time for Patrick to raise the price. The price goes up January 1st. Ladies and gentlemen, you were waiting for a Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. No. You're in it, motherfuckers. Join the Overdose now. NobodyLikesOnions.com/overdose. If you're not joining the Overdose, you're missing a lot of stuff that's going on. You think, like, if you ever listen to this show casually, like in the background, you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? You're missing it all. We fill you in. We have the truth. Release the crack and join the Overdose. $10 a month until January 1st. When I raise it to $13, it'll be going to $13. That's going to be the price. And you can stop it now. Lock yourself in. $10 a month. NobodyLikesOnions.com/overdose. Get access to the full back catalog and all the special episodes, including stuff like this one we're doing now, which will probably be partially available to the public. And then we'll take it behind the scenes for a good old-fashioned name calling. Okay. So this is what I woke up to. This ghastly ghoul in my face. Hamda. And I was like, that's enough. I've had enough. And I go check them out. And there is a Kickstarter. They are doing it to their fans again. Let me bring up Exhibit 1. Here we go. We got a Kickstarter. All right. Here they are. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Pretty pandering.
Hello, folks. Hello.
This is Keith. This is the show now. This is current. This is as good as it looks. It's Grandpa trying to figure out how to get mail on his new BlackBerry. Look at what he's become. While your boy got thinner, leaner, more attractive, better looking, better at bringing you stuff, better looking studio, keeping in shape. Not true at all. Eating a lot of garbage, packing on the pounds. Gonna do something about it right after the move. But why stop now, baby? Until then, it's all garlic bread, baguettes, and pizzas to the moon. But look at this guy, huh? What a sap. What a round-faced, pale loser who's gone to the nearest optical outlet / crayons laughters and strapped on these things to his face. This is what you've become. I want to point out, 2020, using a pop filter. These guys literally started podcasting. That mic does not need a pop filter. You dope. It looks cringe. Uneven foam on the walls in the back. Look at that. At the bottom of that, the gap is way smaller than at the top of that. No lighting effort, no color, no aesthetic. And by the way, this is the best we've ever seen it look. This is the top of the tops for them. I've never seen their shit look better. That's true. It's 100% real. It's usually just hamster cages and old jeans in the background. I'm not lying. And here he is to beg for money again. Clearly so well spent last time. You're zooming now for chat, you know? The fuck are you up to, man? What is the scam? Also, what is this poster board holding this all together?
Agenda.
Hey, Keith. Hello, folks.
It's your pal.
Sorry, I had to turn that way down because their last video was way low. Now this one's high, so I have to turn it way down. And of course, they're zooming.
From the Keith and the Girl Show, we're here to announce the yearly Keith and the Girl Marathon. What? In this pandemic?
This show must go on, so we're going to record a 24-hour comedy.
Look at the room. This is a plywood shed. I need to know what's going on in their life. Is Keith still married to this woman he tricked? Is Hamda still dating the trans woman that he was dating. She was dating. Fuck. And why are you broadcasting from a shed that it looks like you live in? Is this from the creek in the cave? Are you living there since Rebecca shut it down? What's happening? This is very sus among us.
The podcast, but this time socially distanced and worldwide. Shouldn't be hard to put together.
This COVID-19 has me all.
And again, like, you know, at least Cambra framed it up. Keith doesn't know how to frame this up yet. What is going on?
Or we're going to have some yay.
The Kickstarter this year will give us the support we need to produce a remote 24-hour marathon with over 50 guests.
Distance, you promised.
They're reading this too. Like, it's not just bullet points of things to mention about the marathon show they're going to do. They're reading a script that was either written by them or written for them. And again, I would argue that your talent is speak off the cuff. Imagine if this show is written and I had to fucking only say what was pre-written. Look at these dopes. Can't even look the fucking camera. The Zoom ended. Fuck. Is it saved? Tell me somebody captured it. And it doesn't matter because we're going to find out. We're going to find out. Tweet them and let them know we're tearing them down over here. Fuck them. Look at what this has turned into. Like, you do a fundraiser every year for one of these. Are you out of your mind? If it hasn't worked out by now and you're begging, if you're kickstarting shit still, you know, not even for a thing, just for like living. This fundraiser helps us continue to record and posting Keith and the Girl episodes. Helps us continue to record. It's dirt cheap to record. Every child has a podcast. This helps you pay your expensive inflated New York rents. You dopes. Remember before this started, they were clowns. Clowns. They dressed up in clown costumes and went and danced for children at parties, doing magic and ish. Someone said in the chat earlier, didn't you do IT before you did comedy? Right. Didn't you have master's degrees and a successful career before you tried comedy? Right. Got me. Fuck yeah. Slammed. Bammed. Thank you. Grammed. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't give a fuck if any of this goes away. I do it as a bit. If this goes away for them, what do? No one's hiring an old, long, gray-haired clown. What's plan B? It's not working out. 210 backers. Jesus Christ. 25,000 for what? For what? It's not that you're asking for it. It's just for what? You know, when we asked for 15 grand in 2016, it was for flights. It was for Airbnbs. You convert everything into pounds and pay for everything. We showed you what the money was for. For what? The chat system you raised 35 grand for is gone. Why? It ran on Flash. Oh, did you pick it out in 2002? No, 2016. We're dumb. Jesus fucking Christ. Patrick's comedy career is his longest running bit. You guys are playing an old game the wrong way. This 20-minute scripted video of you begging for cash? The fuck? We all did marathon shows back in the day. You don't go in here with a fucking prepared statement, scrolling your eyes back and forth on with your reading glasses in an office complex with neon lights on and fucking a headroom higher than Elon Musk's I can't.
course, the fundraiser also allows us to continue posting Keith and the Girl episodes on a regular basis in 2021.
Let's just keep posting on a regular basis. Look at how this looks. Look at how this looks. They're just putting out the Zoom. They're just putting out the Zoom. One bitch is in a shed. This could be a Home Depot for all we know. Sorry, a Home Depot for all we know. Where's Keith broadcasting from? What is this? What has happened to these guys? I'm getting lightheaded. I love this. Yeah, what the fuck, man? Am I crazy? Like, I'm sorry if I've been Keith and the Grilled. This looks like shit. You begged for 30 grand 5 years ago. You apparently do this every year, scarfing down tens of thousands of dollars from your dope fans. The fuck are you talking about? Keep the show going. Keep what? What's the rent on the closet? What's the rent on the unstained plywood with the exposed nail heads? Huh? Are those real 2x4s? Be honest. Let's swing over to Keith. You know these are foam panels he hangs on 3M Velcro strips behind him over the kitchen window in his wife's house. Cool gaming chair, nerd. Hey, next time, why don't you wear a white shirt to match your ashy white body? Patrick, you're pretty fat. I bet you're pale. Of course I am. That's why you don't see me sleeveless with my Red Bull gives you wings dangling. The fuck? He looks like Jim Norton if Jim Norton was sick. And I don't know how you talk this healthy Instagram model into coming on your show, but it is embarrassing AF when she has a better mic setup and background than you. Hey, we've been doing this for 15 years. Sorry, everything looks like shit. Haven't quite figured it out yet. We're dumb. Continue. Tell us how you need 30 grand to keep hitting record on the oldest computer ever. Can you show the previous fundraising video with all the foam and virtual machines? You betcha. Strap in. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't had a chance, everybody. We do need to fleece you, our listener. Hit subscribe. It's $4.99. Link up your Amazon account. I'm sick of dealing with you. Freaks.
In order to keep the podcast going and produce our first completely remote 24-hour podcast, we have to continue to adjust to a COVID world. That includes turning our quarantine departments into recording studios, which means needing support with tech and sound production for the recording and posting of all of our various shows.
Turning our quarantine department into recording studios. I again ask you to look at this setup. We got a filing cabinet, a bed, like a bunk bed. This is podcasting success. This is why I don't get mad when people say to me, I sound like Ty Rivera right there. God damn it, busted. I let it roll off when people kind of talk mad shit about me because they don't know what they're talking about, you know. These guys could have, you saw how many things they were in. This was a big show. Now they're not nearly as big as they appear. Now you would come in our chat room tonight. We had 15 viewers right at this moment. A minute ago we had 20. You know, it doesn't go up high. I think it got up to 80 recently, but you know, we've only been on Twitch doing this for a couple months. Okay. So, and the downloads of the show are thousands and thousands and thousands. And that's where our bread and butter is. It's the downloads of the show. And I don't really care to shove in ads and stuff to it because the show reaches enough people who subscribe to the Overdose, nobodylikesonions.com/overdose, to to keep me going and to pay the bills around here. And then I travel and do comedy and stuff like that. And I also do other things, you know. I'm pretty smart-ish with my money. These guys, you know, had all the opportunities and all the chances in the world and did nothing with it. Look at the situation. I don't care what you say, these panels behind Keith were hung in haste. I find it hard to believe he's got that much spare room in New York. No, this is a desk or the end of a bed or something. Chemda, shit is clearly not going well. You are living in a exposed plywood, nailed up coffin of a room that seems to function as bed, closet, and office for you. Are you stuck in a shipping container? What is happening? And I don't know who you're talking to over there, but that's embarrassing that you would even allow him onto your program at this level. But they need money to keep this going, you know, and to adapt in a COVID world. How will we ever do the show from home? Says the people who have been doing it for the longest ever. Imagine me, like, trying to figure out my internet. Like, what do you do?
This world is pushing our sanity.
But we can't lay down and die.
Listen to him reading a script like he's doing a read. This world is pushing our sanity. You fake fuck. Fuck all the tough talks.
I don't know. Should we review the year? A global pandemic not seen in the history of the world.
Virtual KATG week.
Murder hornets.
New KATG VIP shows that you can snuggle up with, including Q&A and daddy issues.
Our president got coronavirus.
Virtual silent trailers game for sanity.
The election.
Chat parties every Wednesday night.
Worldwide wildfires.
Look at him just reading. Why are we cutting to a video of a man in a fluorescently lit room just reading to us a script begging for money? Patrick, isn't that what you are? Nope. Send me money. There's ways to tip right in the links below Twitch. Ooh, sorry. You want to hear the rest of this show? Then join the NLO Overdose. NobodyLikesOnions.com/overdose. $10 a month. You get access to bonus shows, bonus content, after shows, and more. Just like this one. If you were enjoying this show, we're sorry, but I'm cutting it off, pulling the plug. You're out of here. If you want to hear more and hear the rest of this show, join the Overdose. NobodyLikesOnions.com/overdose. Support the show and get it all instantly. Access at your fingertips, the entire show archive, and much, much more. Thank you. We love you. And take care of your mom, especially during this COVID time of ours. You're all precious children. Never forget it.